Hi, this is Patrick Conroy, and we're up to Chapter 3, the Paralegal Profession. The Paralegal Workplace. Learning objectives are that you should be able to describe the different types of practice arrangements of lawyers and law firms. Describe the various forms of specialty practice. Describe the tasks and functions prepared by the paralegals. Describe the administrative procedures found in most law offices. Describe the accounting procedures found in most law offices. And prepare a traditional resume and an electronic resume. And plan for a successful job interview. Now, there are all sorts of different types of legal law firms. It can be a firm of hundreds, and they can specialize in any kind of form of law. I'm going to bring up some examples for you so you can sort of see the differences of just local law firms. Okay. First, let's talk about Adams and Reese. They are a huge firm here in the city, and they have offices outside of the city as well. And these are the types of things that they deal with: construction issues, crisis preparedness and response, financial services, global intellectual property, and on and on. You'll see most of these are really this is what's known as a corporate law firm. Most of their clients can be large corporations. They don't handle things like criminal law, family law, personal injury. These are all corporate issues. Now, if we go to another well-known firm in New Orleans, also with many attorneys, these people only specialize really in personal injury or tort law. It's either car accidents, hurricane claims. They specialize in car accidents, motorcycle accidents, truck accidents, slip and fall, offshore injury. All of those, if you were hurt, this is a good place to go. And Morris Park doesn't really handle the cases. He more markets and ships those cases out to other people. But it's huge. Now, here's just a two-man operation, and they handle criminal law. So this is the kind of firm you would go to if you had a DUI, drug offense, or felony. They would handle your case. And then finally, we have family law. So the two-person operation. They probably have lots of paralegals that help them out. And they specialize in divorce and family law, which include custody, wills often, divorces, probably where they make their most money, and kind of people's personal issues. Immigration law handles immigration issues. So as you can see, there's a wide variety of different fields of law you can go into based on your interests and what you want to do and what you find most rewarding. Specialty practice areas for paralegals, like criminal law, real estate law, and the attorney may rely on the paralegal and their specialized experience, which you have to be careful that it doesn't end up being unauthorized practice of the law. Legal nurse consults, nurse paralegals. If you're going to brand yourself as that, you need an active nursing license as well as clinical experience. But they can rake in a lot of money because they can read the medical charts. They can see if there was medical malpractice. The title paralegal manager means that you oversee the training and work assignments of junior paralegals, as well as be a liaison between the paralegals and And if you're in a special practice area, You want to network within that practice area as much as possible, so that, you know, you may be working on opposite sides, but you're still working together, and also they can tell you what job opportunities might be coming to their practice. So, what are typical things that paralegals are asked to do? Well, they usually handle the initial interviewing of clients or witnesses. And they can ask questions, but they can't give advice. The typical, if a client calls and asks to speak to the attorney, they are billed at a higher rate than if they call and ask you questions about how their case was proceeded. So a lot of client communication is handled with the paralegal. There's a lot of legal writing and legal research, including drafting documents. That's why it's important to have strong communication skills. We have legal research and legal writing as courses in this program. Administrative procedures and law. Checking the conflicts of interest with each client. Make sure that the firm, attorneys, and staff members have no connection to a potential client, that there are no financial connections. For instance, if you own stock in a company that your client is suing, that's a conflict of interest. Client billing and billing for the firms, including statements to clients. Now, a lot of this is very much, handled by the technology of today, where you just sort of like enter in what you're doing in 15-minute increments, and then it figures out the billing. And sometimes you have to sort of oversee the trust and client retainer accounts. Like you might be working on retainer, which means that they're paying in advance for services that they'll be drawing down. It's important to know some accounting if you're going to be working in the legal bill as a paralegal. Not only is it about client billing, you often have to understand the accounting or financial affairs of the clients. You're going to have to be able to look over their financial reports. And if they're suing somebody, that person's financial reports. Some specialty areas of law might require greater understanding of finances. For instance, if you work in corporate law, you need a better understanding of finances and reading financial reports. A lot of this, which is why in this program, they require you to take an accounting. And law firms are entrusted with holding client funds until they left with things on retainer. But it can also be money that has been paid to your client with the law firms distributed. So you're going to be constantly tracking the amount of money spent on behalf of the client and the amount of payment. As I said, there's a lot of technology that's really helpful, and we cover that in technology and law. Resume preparation. I'm sure you're all aware that resumes and marketable and demonstrated credentials in a persuasive manner. They typically include contact information, education, work experience, everything that can sell you something. Now we covered this in the USG 240 business communication. But Delgado also offers services and career services that I urge you to take advantage of. And the job interview. There are a lot of tricks to doing a good job interview. I would recommend the work with career services here at Delgado to set up some mock interviews so you can really get familiar with the process. A lot of it, a lot of the things about the job interview are very simple. Make sure you read the job posting before the interview. So when they talk about what skills are needed, you can explain how you've done those skills in the past. So they can feel comfortable, you will be able to do the job on Jack Taylor. Pay attention to experience and qualifications so you can address those during your exam. Prepare a list of questions that demonstrate interest in the position and the organization. So a little bit of research about the company, look at their webpage, see what they say are their, are their most important attributes. And try to bring that in and ask questions. Because then it's like, then it shows you don't just want to job, you want to job with them. And that can make a big difference. And then make sure to send a thank you note after the interview. Short email can be helpful. So that's the end of this chapter. Very quick. Read the chapter, take the quiz, and look. I'll post a video about getting your job, getting your foot in the door, and we'll discuss that in the discussion. Thank you.